my channel, DriveItRyan, and welcome to the very first video I'm doing on the black Miata. First mod, motor mounts. So I chose motor mounts from Goodwin Racing. They're the 70 durometer polyurethane bushings, and it's the latest generation of motor mounts that they have. The bushings are a little bit larger than their first generation. I had these, if these look a little bit used, I had these on my red Miata, and the NVH was a little rough at first. For those of you that don't know what NVH is, it's noise, vibration, and harshness. It was a little bit rough for the first few hundred miles, but I put about probably 600-700 miles on these, and it broke in very nicely. So when I installed these on the black Miata, shouldn't be too bad. So if you buy these exact motor mounts from Goodwin Racing, they give you the option of 70 durometer, 88, or 95. So 70 is currently the softest option that Goodwin offers. Now, if you follow Greg Peters from the Car Passion channel, he did a video on AWR's motor mounts, and they have an optional 62 durometer, so it's even softer than the 70s. But I was happy with these once they got broken in, so I'm going to stick with these, and this car is going to see a lot of track days. I mean, mostly track days, so I think this is a good option.
Alright, let's talk about the tools we're going to need. As you can see, it's really not much at all. In fact, all you need to get the stock motor mounts out is a 14mm deep socket, 6-point preferred, an extension, and a ratchet. And that's pretty much it. Well, you're also going to need a jack to support the engine while you do one at a time. And it's a good idea to get a piece of wood, or maybe a piece of wood with a rag on it, because you're going to have to support it by the oil pan, and you don't want to risk puncturing it or scratching it. Any damage is no good. So the new motor mounts have different sized hardware, a little beefier. This requires a 19mm socket, and these nuts require a 17mm socket. So that's what I have here, ready to go. And since this is a tutorial, I'll tell you the torque specs when I get into it, but most people just go real tight and it's good. But get yourself a torque wrench if you don't have one already. It's a good idea to get it to spec. First thing you're going to want to do is get the car jacked up and take your front wheels off. And like I said, you're going to have a jack supporting the engine by the oil pan. Just supporting it just enough. Now I already have the exhaust off of this car, so it's going to make the driver's side very easy, but this is where the 3 bolts are on the stock engine mounts. See, there's just 1, 2, 3. My hand probably just made it worse. But there's those 3 bolts, which are 14mm, and then in this hole is the other 14mm. So I'm going to start by taking that nut off, and then I'll take these 3 off, and it should come out. You could definitely use an impact for this nut, but I'm going to be old-fashioned. That's it. Nut and washer is out. Stud is still poking through from the stock mount. I'm by myself right now, so it's kind of difficult to manipulate the jack and get these bolts out while not getting in the way of the camera and light. So I'm going to take these out and then start putting the new one in on this side. Old one is out, new one is ready to go in. So here's a little tip. Get your new one set up in the same orientation as the old one so you can slide it right in. It should fit perfectly. Bam, driver's side motor mount is in. And I reused the stock bolts. Torque specs for these, 27 to 40 foot-pounds. And make sure you get everything started by hand first so you don't cross-thread anything. Torque specs for the nut is 42 to 58 foot-pounds. So I actually did 40 foot-pounds on these, and I did 45 on this one. I don't know how much I trust my torque wrench, so you know, better play it safe than sorry. I don't want to strip anything out. But okay, now we can move on to the passenger side. Now it's hard to see, but there's a bracket that holds the, well, it supports the intake manifold. If you have a Miata, you could delete that. It makes it easier for oil changes, and it's gonna free up a lot of space, you'll see in a minute, to get to the bolts underneath on this side. But same process, let's get started. So this is the bracket I was talking about. Just a little support for the intake manifold. You can see where the two bolts go through, and then there's that bolt that goes to the block on the bottom. They're all 14 millimeters. Go figure. All right, moving on to the passenger side. It's a little more difficult to film, and it's tighter area to work in. There's more stuff going on, but you can see everything. You got the nut down below, 14 millimeter. You know, it's the same process as the driver's side. Then you got the 3 bolts for the stock motor mount, and then you have a 4th where the starter bracket attaches to, and there is a threaded hole on the new Goodwin Racing mount. So good job Goodwin. And that's it. So I'm gonna take this out, put the new one in, torque it down, and then we will be done. That's it. Jabo completo. Everything's tightened down. Good to go. Finished. So that'll get rid of the common 2nd to 3rd gear misshift that plagues these Miatas. And I am excited to get this thing on the road. Unfortunately, I can't go on a test drive tonight because I'm not even kidding you. There's about 2 feet of snow outside right now. I think it's still snowing. But I will go for a ride as soon as the roads are clear and clean. This car has never seen salt, and it's not about to. I don't want it to. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.